kind of let's get on up in here. Shout out to every platform that's joining, no matter which platform you on. Um, we on one, two, three. I don't freaking know. 6 platforms right now, 7 platforms. I'm not sure where we at. And all these different cameras in my face. I'm not 100% sure what's going on or where we at. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm good on the volume. I'm good on the tone, so y'all can hear me all right. So look, y'all. Appreciate everybody tapping in. If you don't know who I am, look, I go by Zabo 103. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms, and I really just try to provoke thought. I believe that if you think, if you research, and you take action, you absolutely, without a doubt, will win. It's just really up to you. You have to figure out what's the motivation for what you're doing. My son up there on them, he's on some rollerblades. Want to close that door real quick, just so we can get a little bit more quiet time down here. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. But I wanted to pop on here. I was gonna get on here early this morning when I got on the Peloton. But when I was on the Peloton this morning, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I was just so zoned out, it didn't even make no sense, y'all. I spent about an hour on the Peloton this morning. I was only supposed to give it like 45 minutes. I added an extra 15 minutes on to the ride this morning because I was just doing a lot of brainstorming, y'all. And that's just where I was at. You know what I mean? I was in a zone and it made sense. So I figured after the Peloton this morning, I chill for a little while and I'll pop on live, and here I am. So look, y'all, I know over these last 135 weeks straight, I've been getting on here and we've man, I don't over these last 135 weeks, I don't know everything that we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about so much stuff, it don't even make no sense, y'all. And it's it should be something out of all these lives that I've done that connects with you in some way, that has helped you in some way. And I get people all the time that send me things that say, Zabo, look, I did this because of you, and man, it's the best decision I ever made. You know what I mean? It's almost unreal sometimes when you see people, take the necessary steps to make the different changes they need to make in their life. So one of the things that I said today is that we're gonna spend some time. Obviously we're gonna go through scenarios because it makes sense, right? But we also gonna spend a little time this morning just focusing on us. I want you all to focus on you throughout this live today. I don't want you to think about, just so to speak, all of the different things that I'm sharing live. I want you to really just think about yourself. I really want you to try to dig deep as you possibly can and think about not just what you want to do, because it's not about you. I want you to think about, what do your family want from you? The people that you say you care about and love the most, what exactly do they want from you? Is it money? Is it time? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it love? Is it peace? Like, what do the people that you say you care about and love the most, what exactly do they want for you? Like, when you think about your spouse, your kids, your whatever, what is it that they want from you? That's an exercise that I had to go through way before I started taking this journey. When I made the decision to kind of start taking those steps, that was one of the first things I really had to think about. I had to think about what my family wanted from me. And for me, it might be different from other people, which is all fair, right? Because everybody's different and everybody's family might be different too, right? All my family wanted from me was my time. That's it. They didn't want nothing else from me. And I know people say, well, my family want me to provide for them, and I gotta provide, I gotta protect them, I gotta do it. My family only wanted my time. That was it. It wasn't something overcomplicated. It wasn't something that I had to try to overthink to figure it out. As soon as I asked myself that question, I already knew. That's all they wanted. From my wife to my kids to my brother to my sister to my cousins to my aunts, my uncles, anybody that you can think of that I cared about and loved the most. I always would hear, "Hey, I don't get a chance to see you that much because you're always working. I know you be working hard, man. Man, you got to come hang. Man, you got to come kick it. Man, we got to get together more often, y'all. We don't need to get together whenever it's just a funeral. That's an awkward time to be getting together. And that seems like the only time we get together these days, y'all. We got to get together more often. Like my family just wanted me to spend time with them. That's it. Now, your family might be a little bit different, but you got to identify what your family want from you. Because if you go out and you do what you want to do, knowing that these things aren't necessarily about you, you're going to wind up getting competing interests. What's up, family? It's going to be a little bit of a tug of war because what your family want from you, they're going to be pulling one way. And what you want, if it's different, you're going to be pulling the opposite way. And that's going to make it tough, y'all. Because I know that family is important. And it's probably one of the driving forces behind why you're doing what you're doing right now today. Those same very people that you love and care about the most is the reason why you get up and go to work. It's the reason why you deal with that rush hour traffic. It's the reason why you deal with that annoying coworker, that micromanaging boss. Those are the reasons why you do these different things, because you're trying to make sure they're good. When in reality, the only thing you got to figure out is figure out what they want from you, what they need from you. Once you figure that out, then you can start putting the pieces together on your plan of attack to do whatever it is you're going to do for your last name. And it's not a competing interest to your family. It doesn't make sense to go out and start your own business for the most part and your family wants your time if your family not going to be a part of your business. If your family's not going to be a part of it and they want your time, you're just going to go out and just create more time away from them. What you're going to notice is a lot of times when you see people and it seems like their relationship, their family, it's so peaceful and so happy and so loving. It's so much joy to see them. All these other amazing things. What you're gonna see is those individual families that are really bonded that way, and is really what it seems to be. They spend a lot of time together, yo. A lot. You're gonna see a lot of them working together. And I'm gonna tell you, I am noticing that, right? And maybe again, it could be the algorithm that I have on my social media account these days. But I'm starting to see a lot of husband and wives having businesses together. It's probably one of the smartest things you can do because you eliminate, right? That whole point, that disposition, right? Of infidelity. You eliminate people being sneaky doing other things because you're always together. You said, where's the evidence? The evidence of what? What evidence are you looking for, Mr. Dark Vader? It'd be weird, y'all, when when we get people on the live platform that, they basically get on here to troll, and it sucks for them. It absolutely sucks for them. But those are the distractions that you're going to get. You can deal with those. You can deal with those. What you can't deal with, you can't deal with your family being that troll, right? And your family ain't necessarily being the troll. Your family is wanting something different than what you're giving them. And you thinking you know what's best. All this stuff boils back down to your last name. All this stuff boils down to bringing your family close so you can have that level of community that you need. Not all these other strangers that you want to call a part of your community. It's not a real thing. It's almost like when you hear people say, man, I'm going to get my money and I'm going to move out of the country. Okay, that sounds great. That's what you want to do. Are you going to move your whole family out of the country with you? And if you're not going to move your whole family out of the country, you're never going to come back to see your family? You're going to leave them behind? The math don't math, y'all. Only because people talk from emotions. People get so bound up in their emotions that they forget reality. And reality says you need your family around you. I was looking at an article this morning, Russell Simmons and I think Oprah going back and forth about some stuff. I don't even know what's happening there, but I saw the little article. And Russell Simmons, I think he's in Bali. And Russell Simmons been over there in Bali for a minute. Like he left and he wasn't trying to come back and none of this stuff and yada, 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 yada. Lately, he's been talking about coming back to the States because he want to be around his family. And you're going to see that a lot more because when the older that you get, the more you're going to realize how much you want to be around your family, how much you need your family. Like a lot of times when I've been on these platforms and I start talking about different things, people think I'm only talking about money, y'all. And it's not, this stuff is not about money. It's never been about money. When you hear me talk about getting out of your rat race, it's not so you can make more money. That is the byproduct of it, sure, right? But the reality of it is, it's about you getting away from your rat race so you can spend the time with the people that you say you care about and love the most. Don't nothing else matter, y'all. What up, family? Nothing else matter. Everything else is a mute point. You can't live in this world and be fully alone and think you're going to have this joyful life that you think you're going to have. Hopefully that makes sense. And the reason why I'm explaining it is because if you believe in what, you believe in, you weren't put on this planet to be alone. In fact, in that book called the Bible, allegedly, the powers that be put someone else with man on this planet and gave them the ability to live off the land. When are people going to understand you will put other people? You were put on here to straight up and down serve other people. Those are the people in your bloodline. Now, sure, if you get the ability to serve everybody in your bloodline because charity starts in the home first, and then you're able to start serving people outside of your bloodline, that's a blessing. But charity starts in the home, no matter how you look at it. So you're going to have to become one with yourself to understand you. Then you're going to need to try to understand what the people in your family that you say you care about and love the most, what they want from you. What's up, Missy? That's what this stuff is about. There are 100 million gazillion different distractions out there. If you want to be distracted, there's no shortage of it. There are 300 million gazillion things to be afraid of when it comes to wherever you live. But what's the point? What is truly the point? You can't live that way, y'all. I mean, I'm not saying you can't live this way because you absolutely can live that way, but you really don't want to live that way if we're being honest. If we're being honest, nobody wants to live in fear. No one wants to struggle. People want to put themselves and the people that they're caring for the most in a position where they're provided for and everybody's left alone. That's the ultimate goal. It has nothing to do with nothing else. And I have to sit back sometime and really process some of these different things, especially when it comes down to, hey man, I'm gonna get on these lives, and when I get on these live platforms, I'm gonna try to give out some information that can be helpful to folks, but at the same time, what's really the purpose? There's a small percentage that are gonna do these things, right? There are a larger percentage of people that aren't gonna do it that need to hear the message, so that's a good enough reason, right? Because everybody's situation is different. And being that everybody's situation is different, this might be the season of their life where they just need to hear a good message. Something that's motivational, inspirational to them, just to get them through the day. When I pop on these lives, I understand that. Sometimes people just need to laugh. So you'll get me on here just to make a person laugh. Why? Because people need that too. But wherever you at in your journey, in your life, no matter where you at, continue to move forward. Even if you fall forward. That's what this stuff is about, y'all. It's about getting better every single day. Imagine if you started today to say, you know what? I'm not 100% right now. I'm at my lowest on my low. I'm about 2%. I used to be 100%, man. I can't be 100% right now, man. I'm just going through too much of this stuff, man. I can't break through. It just seems like it's no win. I'm at my lowest on my low at this 2%. Imagine every single day when you wake up, if you make a decision to get 1% better every single day. Every day, just make a decision. I'm going to get 1% better. Every day you come in 1% better. I woke up today, I'm going to get 1% better. I woke up this day too, I'm going to get 1% better. Over the next 98 days, a little bit over 3 months, if you haven't figured it out, you'll be back to 100%. Think. That's what this stuff is ultimately about. You thinking about the best reality you can create for yourself. All this stuff that you're going through for the most part, even though it's real to you, majority of these things are in your head. The things that you think about are the reasons why you're in whatever position you're in, good or bad. You have to think your way through these things because whatever problem that's out there, it has a a solution to it. Every problem can be solved. All of it. If you're waking up every single day with a problem, your problem has a solution. If you woke up with a problem, your problem has a solution. And it doesn't matter what it is because you woke up. Any day above ground is an absolute blessing. And that's the part where it becomes like, come on, y'all, you can do it. You can make this stuff happen. But you can do it. You can make this stuff happen. No one else is going to make it happen for you. No one. And that's what it really boils back down to. Get in your head a little bit. If you're going to be in your own head anyway, get in there and start doing some research in your own head. Start to identify some of them traumas that you're going through and that you done been through. Start trying to work those things out so you can get out of your own way. If you're a grown person still blaming your parents for not putting you in the best position when they raised you, you grown. The only thing your daddy had to do was come to meet your mama at that party. And when you showed up with your daddy at that party, only thing you needed to do was leave with your mama. That's it. Anything above that is a gift. It's a flat out gift. Your parents did the best thing they were supposed to do. They created you. Anything outside of that, it don't even freaking matter. It doesn't matter. But the longer you have these different emotions and feelings about where you came from and how you were raised, and you ain't have that victim mentality, what do you think you're going to do with it? You're just going to pass it on to your kids. Man, I ain't passing it on to my kids, man. I'm not doing this. You are passing on this to your kids. You won't even let your kids see your parents. And it's a vital part to how you are, who you are today. That trauma is real. You're going to have to deal with it at some point. Now, that's not the only thing, right? Think about how many people don't even really want to be themselves. And when people say things about them that's true, they get embarrassed. Now, this social media world is good for doing that to folks, right? Trying to humble people. Imagine for a second, you're ashamed of your past. I want you to think about that for a second. You are ashamed of your past, and people around you know you're ashamed of your past, and they try to use it against you to humble you. At what point you gonna own your past, y'all? If you did it, you did it. It's done. You've overcame that situation. Your depth or your struggle is going to determine how successful you can become. Your testimony is a breakthrough for somebody else, giving someone else hope that's going through what you went through. I had somebody, well, I was live, I don't know what platform. I was on a platform and somebody said, your mom was on drugs, man. What you talking about? Like, she was, bro. She was absolutely on drugs. from when I was 3 years old till I was 16. Yep, that's true. You thought I was embarrassed by it? But it actually happened. Why would I be embarrassed about it? That means that you were born on drugs yourself. Okay, I wasn't, but if I was, okay. Now what? There's a possibility. That's what happens, right? We're not exempt, right? But you got to get up and go to work in the morning. That's your reality. You don't see me coming to McDonald's, kicking the mop out your hand because you working at McDonald's. I'm going to lay in my bed and sleep while you go to work. And you had two parents that went to school, got a good education. And you talking about you had a better life. What happened? It changed. You talking about my mom on drugs and you over there smoking weed. You on drugs. You on drugs right now. Weed come from the earth. A lot of stuff come from the earth. Everything come from the earth. So does poisons. So does every other thing that can take you out. It comes from the earth. You're on drugs right now. You have no clue what's in your drug that you're actually using right now today, but you're taking it. Think. The biggest issue is not fear, y'all. It's not people being embarrassed of where they came from. The biggest issue with people, the reason why they can't get out of their own way, they're immature. And I'm not trying to call nobody immature, but I'm just speaking from a place of clarity. They're immature. You got to be a mature person. Oh my God. TikTok didn't hit me with a strike. I must have struck a nerve. All right, y'all. This is a safe place. Everybody welcome. I'm just showing love. We gonna keep it pushing. These are the moments when I get on these live platforms and I just be like, wow. But I ain't mad at it. I screenshotted it just to show y'all what I saw. They just sent me a strike. You can't talk about this stuff on our platform. We're gonna lure what you're talking about. We're gonna lure your audience reach because you can't talk about what you're talking about. This is why I started my own network, Zabo103tv.com. This is the reason. So I don't get mad about it. I created my own house. Think about that for a second. That's wow to me. Super wow. Imagine for a second that I get on a social media platform and I tell the truth. And I can't tell the truth. And it ain't the social media platform that did it, y'all. It's the people on the live that reported it. Think about what I just said. I really want you to wrap your brain around what I'm saying. And it's laughable. It is laughable. But this is the reason why I created my own network. It ain't on TikTok. It ain't on YouTube. It ain't on Facebook. It ain't on Twitch. It ain't on Rumble. It's my own network. This is the reason why I created my own network. So I can go live over there and say exactly what I want to say. I can put shows out so people can actually subscribe and start watching. This is the reason. Think about that for a second. On the network, Thursday Night Live that we had, man, we was in there rocking and roll. We had 250 people up in that joint on my own platform that I created. I know they working out some kinks over my own platform with the notifications, so that's why I don't go live as much. But once we get the notifications down to a pack so that when I go live on my own platform, everybody that's subscribed to my platform get the notification, I ain't coming back live on these platforms, y'all. I mean, I will be back on these platforms because I got to get my people off of it. I got to get my people off of it. But this is the reason. But it's also my point. In every problem, there's a profit. You did? Did you talk to my tech team, Miss Ann? If you did, Miss Ann, let me see something real quick. All right. Miss Ann, what I'm gonna do is when I get off of this live, I'm gonna send my tech people a message so they can walk you through exactly how to get in there because you shouldn't be having no issues. Okay, let me explain. Let me do it this way. When you go to my platform, when you subscribe to the platform, right? Whatever payment you make, if you have an email address attached to it. Now, normally, right? Normally, if you just pay with a credit card and you put an email address in, that email address is going to be your username, right? If you use Apple Pay, PayPal, or you got something hooked up to your iCloud, there's an email address hooked up to all those three platforms that may be different from the email that you're using. Okay. So you have to go and use the email that's attached to your payment on those other type of payment options. PayPal, iCloud, of course, and Apple Pay, right? Whatever email is attached to it, that's your username. You're not going to be able to change it. That's number one. Number two, where you pay for my platform, I only have one platform for you to pay on, Szabo103tv.com. If you go to any other place to try to subscribe, it's not me, right? Because I had somebody that one of my tech team said, somebody subscribed somewhere else and they get somewhere else, they did something else, and they got this, they got that. I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know what they're doing. So let me get back to it. So what happens is, once you actually make your payment, you're going to have to create an account. So they're going to be like a little account button on the top right-hand corner, or it's going to be like a little profile picture, like a little icon. You're going to click on that. It's going to ask you to log in. You're going to create an account. Once you create an account, what's going to wind up happening is you're going to get an email for confirmation. That email is going to go to the email address that you use to make your payment. It's not going to come from Szabo103tv.com. It's going to come from an email that says Store Plus. So that means that email is going to go into your spam. Okay? What you're going to have to do once that email is there, like, oh, I can't see an email. The email, where is that? You're going to go into your spam. In the search bar, you're going to type in Store Plus, and a bunch of emails might pop up and say Store Plus. You're going to click on the last one that you got, and it's going to be, once you click on it, it's going to say welcome to Zabo103TV.com. When you click on that, it's going to tell you create a password, confirm your password, and then you're in. Watch this. Watch this. Once you're in, whenever you go to the website, you're just going to click on the profile. You should already be logged in at that point. It is a hyperlink that is attached to it. That's a fact. You should be already logged in at that point. If you're not, just log in. Once you log in, click the little profile. You're going to see 3 buttons. One of the buttons is actually going to be for lives. So basically, you're going to be able to click on live with Zabo 103 TV. If I'm live, I'm going to be there, live in action. If I'm not there, it's going to tell you the next time I'm scheduled to go live, the date and the time. The second button that's on there is going to be for all the pre-recorded shows, like Netflix. So you're going to click on Zabo 103 TV, access to Zabo 103 TV. And when you click on it, what's going to happen in that particular situation is this. It's going to take you to all the shows that we have. And I want to say it's like 8 different shows on there right now. And they have episodes and they have seasons and all that other good stuff. It's basically a whole bunch of shows that I created, talking about the things that we're talking about. Then there's going to be a third button on there. That third button is going to talk about how to manage your account. So what I'm going to do, when I get off this live, I'll have one of my tech guys go in and look at your account. And I'm assuming your name on there is Miss Ann, I think it is, right? If it is Miss Ann on there, I have them find your information. You didn't see that? I can. Did someone please? Yep. I would definitely do that. So I have somebody on my tech team reach out to you. And when they reach out to you, they'll go look at your account and they'll see what you got going on and they'll get it resolved 100%. For sure. I appreciate you. You already know. But this is the reason why, when I get on these social media platforms, I don't really be tripping, y'all. I don't. I know my tech team, they working on the community right now. So they shut the community down because they had something going on over there. So they shut that down for, I don't know, probably for the next 24 hours. We'll see when they get it back up. But they working on something on the back end over there. They saw a glitch. So I'm like, look, y'all, I'm not a tech guy. Not even close. I don't know nothing about creating no network. And I'm scared. I'm doing it scared, though. I know how to get on these platforms and tell my story. I know how to get on these platforms and help people how to connect these dots. I know that's what people are missing. I know that's what's the one thing people are missing that's out of their life to help them create wealth. And again, y'all, this is a safe place. Everybody welcome. I'm just showing love. Nothing more, nothing less. TikTok, my TikTok is slowly going down right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and attempt to log back in. So y'all hop back in here. Whoever reported the account, for the most part, they must have used one of the trigger words that I wound up using when I was talking about my mom and other stuff. Wow, y'all. So I'm going to log out to end that live over there on TikTok, and then I'll log back in it if it allows me to. If not, you can join it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I think I don't know what other platforms I'm on right now. So I'll be right back. We're going to get rid of that for a second. And Miss Ann, just real quick, let me just see something too while I got this phone out. Let me see something. ZABOTV.com. So Miss Ann, when you go to the platform, it should look like that, right? So what you're gonna see is, I'm gonna try to show you this real quick without showing it to you. You see that little person right there in the corner? Y'all see that person? Y'all see that, right? That little person over there in the corner right there, you're going to click on that person. Hopefully that y'all can see that. And when I click on that person, you see that? That's what you should see. I know it's backwards. I can't really do nothing about it. You should see those 3 buttons. Live with Zabo 103 TV, live access, manager account, the whole 9 yards, right? If you click on live access, let me just see what pops up. I'm not live over there right now. I was live a day ago now. If you look at it, it'll say March 1st, 11:30. You'll see that if you go live. Let me come out of that real quick. If you don't see that, you click on access with Zabo103TV.com. And what you will see when you click on it is this, right? Let's see if I can show you this. You'll see, something like that should pop up. And you should be able to go through and look at all of the different shows that are over there. That should pop up for you. But I'm gonna log back in over there. Let me send them a message for you real quick. And B. Y'all give me a second. And B. Okay. All right, boom. All right, so I just sent them a message. So I'm gonna have them take a look at your account while we're on live, and then they'll be able to we'll be able to walk through what they got going on. Because we need you up in there. We definitely need you up in there. All right, let's get back. Let's see if it let me back in there. I'm gonna show y'all. I did screenshot. Did it screenshot it? Nope, it didn't. Let me see something real quick. I'm gonna see if I can this thing is moving in slow motion, y'all. I apologize. Shop, I don't need that. System. I don't know what happened. Promoting system. Lives. Post. Nope. TikTok. I don't know what happened, y'all. This is so weird. Maybe it's not gonna let me account updates. And they'll be playing with me. It's an example. Appeal not approved. That's one of the other ones. That's a whole nother situation. The live over there was Morning Beautiful People. You can't even make this stuff up, y'all. So I'm gonna try this again over here on TikTok. And we're gonna get that party started. Mods, for my mods, shout out to my mods over there on TikTok. Shout out to y'all. Look, I don't want to do too much with the people trolling today. So if people get on here trolling, go ahead and kick them out. We ain't gonna deal with them today. We ain't gonna have. I ain't entertaining the trolls today. We just gonna kick them straight out. So basically, what they did over there is they didn't suspend me over there today. Shout out to that, I guess. They figured it wasn't that big of a deal. So what they did is they lowered the reach that I had because of, I guess, some of the things that I was saying. So we'll say that for my own platform, and we're gonna dig into some other stuff, and I'm gonna show y'all how to connect the dots even when you have bad situations like that too. In real life. So we're gonna welcome TikTok back in here, y'all. We're gonna get back to rocking and rolling, doing what we do because it seemed like the right thing to do. On this beautiful Saturday, I will tell you that we're gonna go up, y'all. We're gonna go up today because I'm just in one of those mode right now, right? I believe that when you put your mind to, hey y'all, I'm doing this for my last name. Hey y'all, my family is first. Hey y'all, my family is important. Hey y'all, once I get my family straight, if I'm able to help other people, I'm gonna help other people too. Hey y'all, I want to travel the world with my family. Hey y'all, I want to do this. Hey y'all, I want to do that. And the hey y'all ain't to the world. It's the 35 trillion cells in your body that you're telling this stuff to. When you tell yourself you can't do something, you telling 35 trillion cells in your body you can't do nothing. When you tell yourself you can do something, you're telling 35 trillion cells you can do something. I don't know how I don't think people understand how powerful that is. When you make a decision to do something and you committed to yourself to doing it, you're telling those 35 trillion cells to get to work. And they're going to outwork you. They're going to outwork you more than you know. So when I go back through, obviously my journey, and I think about those moments of me having a conversation about what do my family want from me? When I think about that conversation and I identified that they wanted my time, my brain got to working because it did match what I wanted to do anyway because I was lazy. I was flat out lazy. I still am lazy. And I don't like to work. So I had to come up with the way that I could not work and still generate that thing we call money to provide for the people that I care about and love the most. That's what it was about. I wanted to create a safe place for my bloodline. I knew it was going to take me serving other people. I knew there was nobody else in my bloodline that could do this stuff other than me. Because it would take them their lifetime trying to figure this stuff out, let alone executing it. So I knew I had to make a huge sacrifice. The sacrifice wasn't going to be pretty. The sacrifice that I had to make, people were going to talk crazy about me. People were going to treat me bad, look down on me, doubt me, the whole 9 yards. I was willing to put it on my shoulder because I got broad shoulders. It just was what it was. But I was determined to do all the things that I needed to do to put my last name first. That's what it ultimately became about. So when I started studying the banks, the wealthy people, man, just so many eye-opening events started happening. It didn't even make sense, y'all. To this day, I can't unsee this stuff. And it's almost scary when I think about, how many times I had to really bump my head in order for me to figure this stuff out. It didn't happen the first time I looked into them, the second, the third, the fourth, the 100th time. I had to keep on moving forward. Like it got to be something that I'm missing because this stuff ain't connecting. Nothing's working. It got to be something else. There has to be a better way. And probably on my thousands of times of trying this stuff and running through the brick wall, I realized all the people at the bank I was looking at didn't have the answers. All the people that I was saying was wealthy, they didn't have the answers either. I realized we were all the same. I realized something way more powerful. And it became comical because I started doing it with everything. I'll pull up at Quick Trip gas station in my Nissan Sentra, and I'll put some premium gas in there, and a dude will pull up next to me in a Lamborghini at Quick Trip and put premium gas in his Lamborghini. He got a Lamborghini, I got a Nissan Sentra, and we were getting gas at the same place. I said, that's it. I was eating every day. I wasn't missing a meal, just like the person in the Lamborghini wasn't missing no meal. I had a roof over my head, just like the person at the Lamborghini had a roof over his head. I'm assuming. We were in the same boat. We both had clothes on our back. Now, my outfit probably cost like $100. His outfit that he had on was easily like $4,000-$5,000. He would drip. But we both had on clothes. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. I realized at that moment, all this stuff is just your perspective. And the other thing that clicked to me was wealthy people don't wear their wealth. Wealthy people don't drive their wealth. These professionals that we're looking into, they haven't had wealth in their family for over 100 years. These celebrities, these ball players that we're calling wealthy, they employees too, y'all. They get a paycheck just like everybody else, y'all. Somebody writes they check, y'all. They overextend themselves too, y'all. Think about what I'm saying. They do the exact same things that you do today. And all the times when I was looking at the Jay-Z's of the world, the Oprahs of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, the Elon Musk of the world, the Jeff Bezos of the world, and I'm looking at these people, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. I'm like, yo, these people wealthy, and I got a real cold reality check when I realized that there were people on this planet that has had wealth in their family for 2, 3, 4, 500 years. That's when the light bulb went off. That's when I said, it don't matter if you're a billionaire. Who cares? How long have you been have billionaire status been in your bloodline is the question. How long has billionaire status been in your bloodline is the question. If it's only been in your bloodline for the time frame that you've been on this planet, that's a blessing. But you got people that's walking around this planet that have trillionaire status in their bloodline for the last 500 years. That's a different situation. That's a different ball game. But we don't think that way because what is our goal? Man, if I get me $1 million, I'll retire from my job. If I got $1 million a day, man, I'll retire from my job. You know how fast you're going to be looking for a job if you retire from your job if you get $1 million? You don't know how to invest. You ain't never conducted no business. You can say all these different things you would do. You've never done these things before in your life. If you get $1 million right now and quit your job, I can guarantee you in about 3 months, you're going to be looking for another job. because you don't have a clue. You're not even set up to accept the $1 million right now. If somebody said, I want to give you $1 million, and you can just put it in my account, that's what you're going to say? You don't understand the bank is not a holding facility. It's a lending institution, and you're going to put that $1 million in the bank? The math don't math, y'all. That dot don't connect. Think. And it's almost scary, right? Because a lot of people think that way. A bunch of folks. But when I started taking this journey and I started seeing these different things, I knew I had to think deeper. Say taxes will smash you on $1 million. Let's say you got $1 million after tax. You're still in the same boat. I'm going to say that one more time. Let's say you got $1 million after tax. You ain't ever invested no money before. You ain't ever started no business. If you quit your job in about 2 months, you're going back to try to find another job. The tax portion is the least of your worries. Because people don't understand money. People don't understand that money's not real. People don't understand you're only getting money and you have money in your possession, holding it to give to somebody else. People don't understand money is always going to go back to the original sender, and you're not the original sender. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Because the bartering tool that we're deciding to use called money, you didn't create it. Think about what I'm saying. But these are different things that you got to start to wrap your brain around, because I'm telling you, it's a scary thought out here, y'all. Make 10% every year. I'm with you on that, family. Let's do an exercise. And it's going to be a different type of exercise off of that $1 million. If somebody gave you $1 million today, right now, after taxes, what would you do with it? So you get $1 million after tax. What would you do with it? Go. Put it in the chat. You buy land? Okay, that's fair. What else you would do? Put it in the chat what y'all would do. If somebody said, here's $1 million, don't worry about the taxes. I've already covered the taxes. So I'm giving you more than $1 million. This is going to be more than $1 million. It's going to cover your taxes. You don't have to stress the tax portion of it. Just go figure out whichever you want to do with that $1 million. What would you do? Buy a house? What kind of strategy would you create to manage it? Build some homes, life insurance policy, buy some land, put your money in the S&P 500. What would you do? Invested in what? I know a lot of times we say we would invest, we would do all these different things, create a strategy. I like the idea. Annuities, I like that. Quit the bank and rent out a store. Okay, I like that right there. When we say invest and come up with strategies, I don't know, y'all. Think, I like that right there. Ooh, that was powerful right there. Start a fund? What kind of fund you gonna start? What kind of fund you gonna start? I like that thinking. That thinking was powerful. That hit different when I saw that. I was, ooh, that was powerful right there. I like that. That right there was brilliant. There are 1,000,001 things you can be doing. They call me. I can't help you with that money. I ain't investing your money. I ain't touching it. I will not have nobody knocking on my door. You would ask the person who gave you the money. I like that too. I like it right there. That's amazing right there. Definitely ask them. They gave you the money. Private equity. Okay, cool. That's amazing. What's the return on investment on those private equities these days? If you had $1 million, what is that? What are you making off of it? 7%? Is it more? 25%? What are you making off of private equity these days on those funds? Think y'all. Everybody has 100 million plan. What's up, family? It's been a minute. Everybody has a plan on how they're gonna do what they do. Right? Afraid to take the steps because your business has to pay me more than the bank job does. Well, I mean, sure, right? For you to have, you know, that stability factor there, right? Yeah, maybe a CD while you think about it. Okay. How much interest do you get off a CD? If you had $1 million worth of CDs, how much interest you get off of that? I'm drinking water this morning, y'all. Literally. How much you get off of that? How much what are the returns on the investment on these things? 4%? Okay. It's not, I mean, but 3.5%. I think that's about right too. Fam, that 3.5%, I think is real. Yeah, I sit up and I was drinking my chocolate milk, watching the Grinch, and the Grinch started watching me. I was knocked out. The cost of living is definitely going to be higher than that. But if you're only doing it to think about what you're going to do, it's only going to be a little bit of time that you're thinking, right, before you make a move. I would think maybe 6 months, maybe a year, maybe. You know what I mean? Cost of living definitely is higher than that 3.5% for sure. So money market, okay. In the bank, 3 to 6%. So you're going to put your money in the market, get 3 to 6%. Okay. Now, when he came up with a lot of different things, and y'all have proved my point. If somebody gave you $1 million after taxes, you got $1 million. You don't know what to do with it. We have a lot of things that we're throwing out there, but the reality of it is most people just don't know what to do with it because they don't understand money. Imagine you want to think about, right? Start a food trailer. I like that right there. That's kind of cool. Imagine just for a second, right? Willie, what is it, Willie? That was Nick. That's why it's good to have, I don't know what the M is, a written out plan. 100%. You got to write out a plan. Invest in what you're doing right now. I like that right there, bill collector. Whatever you're doing right now, invest in it. I like that too. That's not a bad idea because you know what you're doing, right? But let me just throw some out there. Let's say you like most people and you don't know what to do, right? So you're gonna give yourself some time to think, which is important. I think I saw that the very first time. You're gonna write out a plan because you need to write out a plan. And then, right, you're going to try to figure out the best way for you to do what you need to do. Watch this. What happens if you say, I don't want to work no more? I don't want to work no more. It is what it is. I know I got to have a little bit of a business going. So I got to make some stuff happen. What if you went and go sit down with a life insurance broker and have them set you up a whole life insurance policy with a nice little cash value and structure it in a way to where you can borrow from it every 30 days or however often you want to do it. Say every 6 months because you don't really know what you're doing, right? You take that full $1 million and structure the premiums in a way where you can make payments, but you're running that full $1 million through your policy. It's getting compound interest daily, tax-free, that you can borrow against and pay yourself back with interest. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be wow. I could realistically, in 30 days, go borrow that whole $1 million back from my policy, put some money to the side to make the premium payments, plus the interest payment that I'm paying back to my own policy, while that $1 million is still getting compound interest tax-free, that I'm paying myself back with interest. And with that smooth $1 million, I can go and get me some rental properties. Why my money still getting compound interest in that policy. And when I go get these rental properties, I know how to be a landlord. Maybe I used to drive trucks. I might go get me a couple of rigs and start doing my whole trucking thing. I know how to drive trucks. I know that process. Maybe I might start my own security company because I used to do security. I know how security companies work. You get it? I'm not putting my money in no stock market. I'm not putting my money in no bank. I'm running my money through that policy so it can continue to get compound interest daily, tax-free, because I'm not earning no income. I can borrow against it and pay interest on top of it back to myself. Whole life, you can just reach out to some of your life insurance brokers, right? Yeah, it's being recorded. You can reach out to some of your life insurance brokers. And when you reach out to some of your life insurance brokers, right, tell them to give you some illustrations on all their cash value policies that gives you the ability to borrow from it every 30 days. And you kind of select which policy is the best policy for you. One that don't have a whole bunch of fees or zero fees. Think about what I just said. But we don't know to do that, y'all. And we believe that you got to have $1 million to do. That's what we believe. When in actuality, you can be doing this right now with your paycheck. You could be running your whole paycheck every pay period through your policy, getting compound interest on your money daily, tax-free, that you can borrow against every 30 days, and you paying it off in full every 30 days. Even when you taking the money out, you get compound interest daily, even though you borrowed the money. You can be doing that right now today. Nothing stops it. It's legal. Think. But these are the things that you got to start to just. The things that you have been taught mostly by these financial institutions, the things that you have been taught by these financial institutions has mainly been about you being a consumer. That's what this stuff has been about. You being a consumer. Nothing more, nothing less. You going to get credit from those financial institutions while you can use it to make more money? Sure. It's still consumership. Why would they teach you anything different? You're their customer. They're not going to teach you to do what they do. They would go out of business. No business is doing that. You're their customers. Does a lawyer look over your policy to make sure it's legit? You don't need a lawyer to look over your life insurance policy. You go to a life insurance broker. If you want to have a lawyer look over, you can, but you don't need a lawyer to look over your policy. Think. It's a wild moment in life when you start to realize that there are other things that you ain't even thought of before that happens every single day. Every single day. But you got to make sense out of it. And when you start to make sense out of this stuff, you're going to realize $1 million ain't no money. It don't mean that if you can get $1 million, you shouldn't get $1 million, because you can make it be a lot, right? But I want you to think about that example I just gave you with that $1 million put inside that policy. You borrowing from it and paying yourself back. You're getting compound interest on it daily, tax-free, and you paying yourself back with $1 million that you borrow. And you're doing that every single year. In year one, that $1 million then went to probably $1 million and one. In year two, that $1 million probably then went to $1 million and three. In year, well, not $1 million and three. In year two, $2 million and three. In year four, in year three, that $1 million then went to what 3.5 million. In year four, that $1 million then went to probably about 4.7. In year five, that $1 million then went to almost $6 million bucks. So you started with $1 million bucks, and in 5 years, that policy that you can tap into now will be somewhere around about $6 million bucks. Minus whatever you borrow already that you got out, you'll be able to borrow up to that amount. So if you only borrowing $1 million every single year, paying it back every single year, you get compound interest daily, tax-free, and you paying yourself back probably a 10% interest rate on your money that you paying back to yourself. You think. In 5 years, you'll have a few $1 million you can borrow against again. So you're not borrowing $1 million, you might be borrowing $3 million, $4 million bucks from yourself. So even if you're not coming up with the business, for the most part, you're living off of the interest, tax-free. You get it? Nothing stops this stuff, y'all. Nothing. It just depends on how you want to play the game. Are there a whole bunch of other ways you can do these things? I'm sure they are. I just don't know them. Think. Don't be surprised. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that when I borrow that money from my life insurance policy, even though I'm borrowing the money and I got the money in my hand, that same amount of money that I borrow is still in my policy, getting compound interest daily, tax-free. A lot of people don't know that. And you don't hear people on social media talking about that. Why? Either they don't know. I know why the agents don't come on here and talk about it, because they have restrictions that they can't come on social media and discuss that stuff at all. It's compound interest daily, not yearly, daily, not yearly, daily. So it's not an annual interest rate. It's daily. It depends what type of products they have. Student loan stuff is compound interest daily too. So it's your tax bill if you get behind. Your tax bill is compound interest daily too. That's why it never seemed like you can pay it back. Gotta hit them with them lumps. Boom, 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 boom. Think. When I saw the banks putting their money in life insurance policies, when I saw wealthy people putting their money into life insurance policies, I said, it got to be something to this. When I saw the bank buying land, when I saw the wealthy people buying land, I said, it got to be something to this. And then it connected that they both of these people and entities were doing the exact same thing. These two things exactly the same way. That's when the light bulb went off. That's when it became game over. You're gonna have to talk to some builders, some licensed builders, and once you talk to some licensed builder, just have the conversation about them, you being an intern for them because you're trying to get your license. You're not working full time for them. You're working part time, and they might say, "All right, you're gonna work part time for me. I'll give you credit for the 2 years if you're gonna work part time for me as an intern. If you can work full time for them for 2 years as an intern, you can do that too." How can you work for them full time for them and not make no money? I don't know. If you building properties, you can do it. If you're building properties, you can do it. What do I mean by that? I done built 29 homes out my own pocket. Cash. No loans. I know it's stupid. It's crazy. Doesn't make sense. But I've done it. When I go to hire a licensed builder, guess what I'm telling that licensed builder? I'm telling that licensed builder, hey, I'm building properties. I want to, at some point, become a licensed builder, but I don't really want to do the work. I just want to have my license just to have them. If you want the rest of these properties, I got about 20 more properties that I'm on a budget for doing, and it's going to take some time doing it. I do need a licensed builder. I would love to hire you as a licensed builder to build my homes, and being that it's my property, I'm only going to hire a licensed builder that's willing to actually be someone that will vouch for me to get my builder's license. I'm not just working for you for free. I'm paying you to actually be the licensed builder on this property. Think. I don't know. It depends what type of policy you have. Do you have a policy that has a living benefit and a death benefit? Appreciate your family. Do you have a policy that got a cash value on it? If you got a cash value on it, then sure. But if your policy is a term policy, it doesn't have a cash value. A lot of people get caught up with these term policies thinking, oh, I got a life insurance policy. I'm straight. I can go do this. If your policy doesn't have a cash value on it, which is a living benefit, you can't access it. So I would suggest you reach out to the life insurance company where you have your life insurance with and just see what type of policy you have. Most people have term policies. and they don't understand all the other policies that are all the other different type of policies or products that these companies have that have living benefits, and you can benefit from these things while you're living. All this stuff matters, y'all. And I know when I get on these social media platforms, I can't go deep in all this different stuff because I'm not no life insurance broker or no agent. I'm just a person that figured out how to become wealthy, and I started understanding that wealthy people know how to connect the dots. I connect dots. I connect dots. That's what I do. Yeah, reach out to your life insurance broker and just ask them. They'll tell you what. Ask them, hey, look, if this product that I have right now has a living benefit, tell me what's my vested amount in my policy right now. And if it's been since 2023, you're about 2 years into it. If you didn't set it up with you have an ability to take from it every 30 days, it's probably not set up that way because it has to be set up that way, right? You probably got a policy that makes you wait so many years before you can actually start borrowing against it if it has a living benefit. It might be 2 years, it might be 3 years, it might be 5 years. It just really depends. So once you actually talk to your broker, they'll be able to explain to you what all you got going on with your specific policy. 100%. So, but again, me connecting the dots and trying to get on social media and explain that to people got me suspended, off platforms for a certain amount of time, lowered my reach when it comes to people, all type of crap. That's why I started my own network. Zabo103tv.com is a network that I started for myself to get that stuff out to people that want it. You say you got one when your kids was a baby, paid it up for 10 years with cash value, and it's just growing. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's an index. So you got an IUL. Okay. Yeah, just kind of check out what you got as far as invested cash in your on the cash value side of your IUL. Just kind of reach out to your broker. They'll be able to tell you 100%. And also ask them about the fees that you're charged on your IUL as well. You need to know that too, because that can determine if you decide to borrow money from your IUL, how much you should take out and how much you shouldn't take out. Hopefully that makes sense. So, but when I created a network, that's one of the things I said. I said, man, when my network get up and running, and by the way, y'all, it's been up now for what, 15 days now. When I created a network, I said, man, when I create this network, man, I'm just gonna let loose. We're just gonna continue going up. I'm gonna see what happens. And I love it because it's like I'm seeing so many people excited. I'm seeing so many people starting to try to make moves on the things that they said they wanted to do. And it all goes back down to what brought you pain on why you want to do something different. What you don't like in your world right now that making you want to do something different. It's not anyone else's responsibility to do these things other than you. And I can tell you, whew, when I was at the bank, I made a decent salary for a job. I ain't gonna even say a decent salary. I made a good salary for a job. 200 grand a year on a job without a college degree. That's an amazing salary for a job, especially without a college degree. So I really couldn't complain about the position that I was in life. But it was something in my spirit that told me that There's a bigger world out there, and you ain't exploring none of it. You wouldn't have made me believe that my reality would be Monday through Friday, waking up when I want to wake up. You would have made me believe all of these different things, owning 347 and a half acres of land on loan. You want to make me believe that's a real thing? I had people telling me you can't buy more than 10 acres of land in one spot. They ain't gonna let you do it. Who is they? You wouldn't have made me believe that I would own over 100 acres of pecan trees that we planted, and we ain't selling pecan pie. You wouldn't have made me believe that. I haven't had a freaking car note. Man, how long it's been? What was that? 2018, 2019. I haven't had a car note in probably like 7 years. Now that's not the flex, right? Because none of this stuff is the flex. But not having a car note in 7 years, one would say, yeah, you paid off your car and you're good. I got a 2025 sitting outside right now. And my wife got a 2024 sitting outside. Well, in the garages, right? You would have made me believe that I can go and get a 2025 Cadillac Escalade, a 2024 long body Range Rover, and not have no car payment? And got both of those vehicles in the same year and not have a car payment? Those two car combines over $300,000 and not have a car payment? You want to make me believe that? The math don't math, y'all. It don't even make logical sense. I appreciate you. And that's why this stuff is wild to me, y'all. It's straight up wow, because everybody that these things ain't gonna happen for. I'm not gonna say that because I know that ain't true, right? But what is true, if you want those things in your life, you can make them happen. And I'm not talking about the material things because that's irrelevant. I'm talking about the ability to spend time with the people that you say you care about and love the most. I can't unsee all the things that I done seen. I just can't. Me, look. It's over here too. Let me go. Let me grab it. I barely got a high school education. I ain't got no college degree. You would have never made me believe that I'll be able to have a book that I assist with writing. Notice I said assist because my wife, she the one that got the master's degree. She the smart one out of the group. I'm slow. You would have never made me believe that I had a hand in writing a book. You would have never made me believe I would have a hand in writing a book. I'm slow. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. Yes, that book, you can go to Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. You can click it. Once you get to the website, you can get a free digital copy of this book for free. For free. You don't make no money on no books, y'all. You don't make no money on no books. I know people be selling books all the time. Like, I'm making all this money selling books. No, you're not. You ain't making no money selling no books. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. It's not a real thing, people. It's not a real thing. But you go get a free copy of this digital book at Zabo103TV.com. Creating the life you truly deserve. Me and my wife wrote this book back in 2019. It was one of the best-selling books the first week it came out on Amazon. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. I didn't know when we wrote this book, I would build a network showing people how you can create the life you truly deserve. I'm not some type of prophet or nothing like that. But when we created this book, I didn't know that I was going to create Zabo103TV.com. I had no clue. When we wrote this book, I did not know Zabo103TV.com was going to actually show people how I create this life and how you all can create the life too. I had no clue. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. This stuff is wow, but it's all predicated on you and what you want to do with your life and what you want your family life to be. It don't have nothing to do with nothing else. I know I could have my beautiful wife calling another man daddy. Daddy, can I take PTO? Daddy, can I get vacation? Daddy, I need to call out sick. I couldn't have my daughters calling no man daddy unless it was their husband or somebody. And only my oldest daughter is married. My youngest daughter better not be talking about no marriage right now. She ain't old enough to be doing that crap. I couldn't have my sons going to work talking about, daddy, can I get PTO? Daddy, can I couldn't have that happen, y'all. So I made the sacrifice to go without so they can go with. I don't think they heard what I just said. I made the sacrifice to go without so my wife and my babies can go with whatever they want to go with. It's the difference. When I say I show my bloodline unconditional love, I mean it. I don't care what they do. I'm always going to love and support them through anything they go through. I don't care what it is. Because I'm doing these things for my last name, not my first. This stuff is not about money. It ain't never been about money. This stuff been about my last name. That's it. The stuff that I'm going to do today, it has no impact on me at all. It ain't got no impact on my wife. It ain't got no impact on my kids. It ain't got no impact on my grandson. The impact that it has is on the people in my bloodline that I ain't never gonna meet. I'm almost to the point, and I've been getting better, looking at this 347 and a half acres of land. I'm almost getting better. I'm almost to the point where before I leave this planet, I'm gonna be able to identify which tree on my land is going to feed different people in my bloodline. I'm getting close. It's complicated, it's difficult, it's almost stressful sometimes trying to keep up with it. But my goal is before I leave this planet, I'm going to figure out which tree is going to feed each person in my bloodline who I ain't never gonna meet. And ain't nobody in my bloodline gonna have to get no ancestry.com or no 23andMe to try to figure out who I am, because I'm giving them a head start on life. They gonna know everything they need to know about me. The reason why you don't know your ancestors and you have to do all this research to find out who they are is because they didn't give you a head start on life. If they gave you a head start on life, you would know everything about them. I decided to become immortal. I can't tell you who my grandfather is on my dad's side or my mom's side. I ain't never met neither one of them men. I ain't meet my grandmother on my dad's side ever. Don't know the woman. Met my pops and got to know my pops when I was 21 years old. Like not even met him. My mom was a blessing to me and my brother and sister. My grandmom was she was a Saturday going church woman. 7-day, we ain't gonna talk too much about it because I know people get a little sensitive. Rolling, doing her thing, what she doing. You gotta have the door wide open on Saturdays. You can't go outside. You gotta sit in a hot house. Oh, I'm about to pass out. She got the door open. I can't watch my cartoon on Saturday morning. I'm pissed off. She talking about the door need to be open. You can go outside and run around a little bit, but you can't run in and out. It's hot outside too. This Georgia weather is smoking hot. When I was growing up, it ain't hot like it used to be. The door wide open. And she telling you, she in the house doing what she doing. She get done doing what she doing, cooking, the whole 9 yards. Now she got her a Red Bull. And I ain't talking about no energy drink. I'm a 70s baby. I'm talking about a Red Bull, and I ain't talking about no energy drink. You sitting on a porch with a Red Bull, giving us all these different commands, all these different rules. I can't watch my cartoon because today is your day that you call whatever you call it, Grandma, and I can't watch my cartoon, but you sit up there with a Red Bull. The point that I'm making is, y'all, we got to do better than what our parents did. We got to do better than what our grandparents did. We got to do better than what our great grandparents did. And before you say, my parents did a good job, you still got to do better than what they did. My grandparents, they left me land. Okay, you still got to do better than what they did. Your job on this planet, however you got it, you're supposed to leave it in a better place than where you got it. Think. That's where this stuff comes from, y'all. When I look at my ancestors, not even knowing who they are, and I'm not doing no 23andMe and no Ancestry.com, because they don't know either. They just telling you anything. You just bought a product. I know my ancestors, even without knowing them, they went and found a piece of land, claimed it as their own. They built them some shelter. They got their food by hunting, fishing, growing, all the different things that they did. They became tailors and seamstress to make their clothes so they can have clothes on their back. And they went and found clean water to drink. They went and got food, water, shelter, clothes on their back. The same 4 things that we all got to have in 2025. And my goal is to make sure everybody in my bloodline ain't ever got to worry about getting food, water, shelter, clothes on their back. Because I know how different their life would be if they didn't have to pay for those 4 things. Can you imagine how different your life will be if you didn't have to pay for food, water, shelter, clothes on your back? I don't think people really understand that. And I've said this 100 million times, by the way, y'all. You don't know how different your life would be if you didn't have rent or no mortgage. You didn't have to buy no clothes. You didn't have to pay for those bottled waters. You ain't have to pay for that crap, right? You ain't have to buy clothes, shelter, food. Do you understand? I don't think people get it. That's what it's about. It's about you not bringing shame to your last name. If you had grandparents in your life, your grandparents didn't raise you to be running around trying to impress other people. That ain't the home training that they gave you. They didn't train you to be all being in a whole bunch of mess all day, every day. They didn't train you to be out at the juke joint, which y'all call the clubs and the lounge these days. It's just the juke joint. They ain't tell you need to be at the juke joint. You want to go to the juke joint every Friday and Saturday. Your grandparents watched the baseball game on TV for free. They went at the ballpark watching the game in real life, and if they was, it cost them 75 cents to get in. You paying $500 for that seat to be right there at the bottom, so you can be in the front row, and you can't even see the freaking game. Come on, y'all. We got to do better now. We got to think through these things, y'all. Your Heavenly Father put you here and gave you all the tools that you needed. Your Heavenly Father was a creator, created all this crap. What makes you think you not no creator yourself? Your Heavenly Father need no money to create nothing, the same way you don't need no money to create nothing. It's in your head, y'all. When this stuff started to click for me, I got scared. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I was terrified because I was like, man, I am really powerful. I'm really powerful. To go from creating a book as simple as creating the life you truly deserve to create my own network, Zabo103TV.com, showing you how to create the life you truly deserve. You know how powerful that is? Do you understand how gifted people are? How gifted y'all are? Forget me. You got people on my live right now from all walks of life. That's been a blessing, not just in my life by showing up in, my household with me on these lives, right? But y'all been blessings in so many other people's lives, and y'all take this stuff for granted. It's wild to me. You are way more talented than you know. You have way more gifts than you give yourself credit for. Why are you allowing everybody else on this planet to use your gifts other than yourself? You go to work every single day and allow your job to use your gift. Why won't you use your gift for yourself? That's what's crazy. So when you hear me say, hey man, when I was at Bank of America, when I left Bank of America, I did what I did for Bank of America for myself. I don't know what type of business start. Do what you do for your job for yourself. That's your gift. You're going to understand how to connect the dots at that point, at the very minimum enough to go into business for your last name, because you're already doing it for somebody else. And this is not a campaign to get everybody to leave their job. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You say that's the scary part. I'm with you on that, family. But you want to know what's even more scarier? And it almost sucks to say this in real life. It's actually more scarier to go to work on Monday morning and they pull 75 of y'all in a meeting and tell y'all it's y'all last day at the company. They laying y'all off. It's almost more scarier to realize your baby ain't eating chicken nuggets no more. Your baby's like shrimp right now, and a nanny had to tell you, or the lady at the daycare had to tell you, or the person at the school, the teacher had to tell you, you know your child likes shrimp now. You don't have to keep buying the McDonald's. Your baby taking they first steps, and somebody else gotta translate it to you. I gotta communicate that your kid taking their first step. You couldn't be there to witnesses. That's scary to me. That's a scary thought. It's a wow moment when you can just be one with your kids. Y'all be giving me a hard time because my son will be upstairs. He got these. We had bought him some skates, like he learned how to skate quick, right? Then we got him this little hoverboard. He learned how to get on that hoverboard quick. So now they got these little single hoverboards where you put your foot on one and you put your foot on the other. They're like skates, but they're hoverboards. Scrap your feet around and ride on it. And he just kept falling, falling, falling. Now y'all hear him all over my head upstairs on that hoverboard, right? But I get to see him do that. You know how wild it was to me as a man that got 6 kids, right? My oldest is 25. My youngest is 6. Watch this. I'm gonna show you some wild stuff. My oldest daughter, she watched me bust my butt working at Bank of America. She went down the path in her life. When she turned 19, guess what she started doing? And I didn't help her at all. She got a job working for Bank of America. She wound up finding her husband, got married. Her husband was a bit of an entrepreneur himself. She wound up leaving Bank of America, becoming a mom, and doing her thing, living her life. But she saw me work, so she went and worked. I got lucky and saw her take her first steps. I got lucky. I just happened to be off that day. I got lucky and watched her take her first steps. My youngest son, 6 years old, he ain't never seen his mom and dad work a day in his life. His mentality is very different. I saw him, he couldn't have been no more than I think he probably was like 4. Maybe he was 4. No. He was 5. This was last year, right? We don't let him be on the phones as much, right? Or tablet as much. We like him to be outside play. We do some other stuff, whatever. And every blue moon, we let him get the phone. So I think it was last year. It was right when he turned 5. I never forget. He went and got a tripod, put his phone on his tripod, and he said, "Hey guys, how y'all doing?" And just started talking. I'm like, who the hell is he talking to? I go to the phone. He didn't hit record. He recorded himself acting like he live. Acting like he live. I said, man, get your butt off that recording if you're taking up space for no reason. I thought it was comical, y'all. Take him to school, pick him up from school. When he get out of school, you know what he say? "Dad, I want to go to the office." "You want to go to the office for what?" "I ain't going down there." I want to go to the office. All right, well, let's go to the office. Go to the office and get to the office. This is not no bring your child to work day. Get my son down there. He go down there, go in the refrigerator. He got him some slippers in there because he has this thing where he don't like shoes. Every time he get in the car, get around somebody, he taking his shoes off. Once he taking it off. He don't like no shoes on, y'all. I don't know what it is. He get into the office, take his shoes off. He go in his mama office. He put his slippers on and walk around and be talking to all the different employees. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all need some help? And he'll try to help people out, and they'll be doing different things. And like, boy, get off the back there and leave them folks alone. His mentality is different. This joker asked me, and I'm a little upset at him right now. So about a week ago, he asked for an iPhone 16. So we bought him an iPhone 16, right? This joker had that iPhone 16 for probably a week. Now he can't find the iPhone 16. So I'm like, man, where your iPhone at, bro? He was like, man, I don't know. I was like, you got to look for it. He was like, just call Amazon. Tell Amazon to bring me another one. I'm not calling Amazon to bring you no freaking another iPhone. You better find that iPhone 16. I ain't even got no iPhone 16, and you got an iPhone 16 and lost your iPhone 16, and you're going to say, tell the Amazon people to bring another one. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying, y'all. I want you to think about what I'm saying. This joker said, we're going to go to the bank on Monday. We're going to get some money from the bank, and we're going to go get another iPhone. He ain't got a care in the world. It's because your kids will regurgitate everything you say, and they'll do what they see you do. The same thing we did. They're not that different from us, y'all. Think. What are you showing your kids today? If you mad every day from going to work, your kids gonna see that and they gonna think that's what they supposed to do. Go to work and suck it up and be mad because I got responsibilities. Your kids gonna do what you do. The same thing on you. 99% chance you're doing what you seen your parents do. If your parents had a job, you got it. If your parents, I'll put this card on here. If your parents got a business, 9 out of 10, you got a business. You did what you seen your parents do. That's it. That's all. I gotta charge this tablet. I don't charge this tablet, y'all gonna be in trouble. I know Instagram don't want to not be connected right now. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I did something, y'all. I don't know what I did, y'all. I'm tearing something up. My bad, TikToker. I done knocked TikTok down trying to put this charge in here so they don't lose. I don't lose them. There we go. So we good over here on Instagram. TikTok, y'all good. Y'all charging now. Cool. Oh, how did I make the screen that big? Okay, there we go. All right, cool. I was gonna say, dang, I done made the screen too big over there. That would have been a fail. The point that I'm making is you got to be very deliberate about what you do because your kids see what you do and they're going to do what you do. When you get mad at your kid for doing all these different things, they didn't saw y'all do it. When I be seeing these kids on social media doing all this twerking and all this stuff, I'm like, what the heck is going on? I can't even be mad at the kid. They didn't saw their parents do it. They just mimicking what they see. Nothing less, y'all. So look, I got to get up off here. I wanted to tap in here with y'all for a little while today. I was supposed to get on here early this morning. I couldn't make it on here this morning because I was so far in the zone. It just didn't make no sense. Tonight, I'm probably not going to get back on because I got some shows I got to record. So that's going to be that. I'm going to record some shows tonight for the network. If you haven't joined the network already, the link is in the bio. Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. Get on over there. Sign up for the network. Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be live. And then, of course, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be live as well. New shows on the network are going to drop tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. New episodes are going to drop. And then I think we got some more shows that are going to drop on Tuesday. For the people that's been inside the network, asked me about the course. The first episode of the course is going to air. I think it dropped on Tuesday night. So Tuesday morning, it will air. So the first episode of the course that people are asking me about is going to drop on Tuesday night for viewing Wednesday morning. So definitely tap in. We're going to take those steps inside of for the people in the course that we didn't talk about. We're going to take this journey and we're going to start from that starting point that I already told y'all we're going to start from. So if you haven't subscribed already, go over there and subscribe. Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. We going up, y'all. It is what it is. Once we get the rocking and rolling full-fledged on the network, my social media presence is going to go down. I'm not going to be as active on these platforms because all my time is going to be there. So we're going up this week. Go ahead and get your, I'm going to call it the second phase of early subscription on the network now. Right now, that program, the network is $12.99 a month. If you operate in public, like we've talked about on these platforms, you know that's not costing you no money because that's a business expense. I'm just telling you. We're going to continue going up on Zabo103tv.com. Again, the link is in the bio. Tap in. Property number 29, like I told y'all already on the network. They had some other moving parts this past Friday, so I ain't have to go because I'm happy. I wasn't going to go anywhere because that's the day that I spent with my son. But we're going to be probably back down there on, I'm thinking probably on, it's probably going to be Thursday morning we're going to be down there. So on Thursday morning, we're going to get back down there on Thursday morning, down for the network. So I'll be live Thursday morning on the network and Thursday night on the network. So y'all will be able to tap in. We're going to go through some other things that have transpired down there. And it's going to get interesting, y'all. So look, I appreciate y'all. For those also that been asking me about the book, Creating the Life You Truly Deserve, go over to Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. Get your free digital copy of this book. Only thing you're doing basically is putting your email in, and an email is going to be sent to you with the actual digital copy of this book, Creating the Life You Truly Deserve. It's a quick, good read, so you can start getting your mind right. So look, y'all, in the meantime, also replay on this live is going to be at Zabo103tv.com tomorrow morning as well. So if you missed the live, you definitely want to go subscribe to Zabo103tv.com so you can actually catch the replay. It's also going to be on Instagram at Zabo103 It's also going to be on Facebook at Zabian Gibson. It's also going to be on YouTube, this actual live, at Zabo103 if you missed the live. So again, I appreciate y'all for always tapping in with your boy. In the meantime, look, y'all be good or have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.